Hello and welcome to mahendraguru.com, the Brahmas for Success, and you're watching Talking Point. In this particular show, we would focus on the most important headlines of this particular week. So if you have any questions on that particular headline, we always have a solution. So let's see the most important headline of the week, that is the Nuclear Suppliers Group, also known as NSG. Well, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is adamant on making India enter into this particular esteemed group, that is the Nuclear Suppliers Group. So let's see what is the history behind this NSG. Well, in the year 1974, a group called NSG, that is Nuclear Suppliers Group, was created in response of the Indian nuclear test in the month of May 1974. We all know that Indira Gandhi, under the Prime Ministership of Indira Gandhi, we carried forward a nuclear test that led to worldwide consideration on setting up a group that would lay down the guidelines of the nuclear weapons. Now, this group particularly consists of nuclear suppliers that seek to prevent the nuclear proliferation by controlling the export of materials, equipment and technology that can be used to manufacture the nuclear weapons. So this particular group would perhaps supersede all the countries which have nuclear supplies, and thereby giving them guidelines and also providing them certain restrictions on the export of materials concerning nuclear weapons or the technology that is behind it. So this was the intention behind the establishment of NSG, or Nuclear Suppliers Group. Now, before the year 1976-77, the NSG comprised of 7 participants: Canada, West Germany, the erstwhile West Germany, France, Japan, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and the Soviet Union. But after the year 1976-77, 15 more members were added, namely Belgium, East Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Switzerland, and Sweden. At this point of time, there are 48 nations which form a part of the Nuclear Suppliers Group. But why is NSG so important to India, or why is it making such a noise? Because India is vying to get its spot in that particular group. It wants to be the member, or the 49th member of this particular group. So let's see what we have. And now in the year 2010, when the President of the United States of America visited India, an official statement was released by the US which will support India for getting permanent membership in the NSG. Now, several other countries have also backed this particular membership recently. As in earlier, France has backed, UK, Japan, Switzerland, and Russia, and currently in June this very year, Mexico, along with Switzerland, extended its support towards favoring India in order to become a member of the Nuclear Suppliers Group. Now, if these are the countries that are favoring India, there are countries like China, New Zealand, and Pakistan which are opposing this particular involvement, because if India would be a part of this particular NSG, several restrictions on the Indian nuclear supplies shall be taken out, and India would be at a better hand in terms of the nuclear proliferation, in terms of the nuclear management, than Pakistan. So that is why this particular group NSG is making all the news in this particular week. Let's move forward to the next particular headline. Well, the next headline is, of course, the inflation. And the first one is the WPI, that is Wholesale Price Index. Now, WPI is an index that tells the price rise of the wholesale goods in a particular month. Now, in terms of the inflation rate for the month the current WPI is at 0.79%, which was calculated for the month of May. In April, it was at 0.34%. If we discuss about the different inflation rates, then generally all the inflation rates are in the negative territory. So in terms of the current month, yes, inflation is manageable, but if we discuss in the previous 2 or 3 months, the inflation is getting higher. At this point of time, this is not a matter of concern, but we have to keep a check about what should be the upper limit of the inflation rate in the coming months. So this was WPI. Then we had the retail inflation, also called as the CPI, that is perhaps based on the CPI, that is Consumer Price Index. Now this index is different from WPI, because in CPI we discuss about the consumer consumer. We discuss about the effects of the price rise in goods and services concerning a consumer. So it is an index that tells the price rise in goods and services used or consumed by a particular consumer in a particular time period. That particular index is called as CPI. Now in terms of CPI, the CPI for this particular month was at, for May that is, was at 5.76%, which is higher than the previous month. If we divide that, if we discuss the previous month's inflation rate, that was at 5.47%. So not only the WPI but also the CPI is gaining momentum, it is increasing. But as per stated by RBI, they're trying to make the inflation be at around 5%. So if it is around 5.5% in the coming year, it is an achievement by the RBI side, and also it would lead to a far more management of money supply in our country, that is India. Now if we discuss the different divisions, the clothing and footwear, the inflation was at 5.37, that is lower than the actual total CPI. But in terms of the fuel and light, the inflation is at a meager 2.94%. So you can see here that the core sectors are gaining farther well, but in terms of the pulses, that is different dals, they are gaining momentum and they are perhaps at 31.57. So we have to keep a check about the alarming increase in different sections, because various other sectors are faring rather well. Now this was the WPI and this was the CPI. The other thing that is a controversy and not a particular sort of a question that could come, but yes, they could ask questions regarding the Urta Punjab movies, the directors, producer, for example, Anurag Kashyap. Now this particular Urta Punjab has become a debate in terms of the film fraternity and also the CBFC. Now CBFC, according to the High Court, is not empowered by law to censor films, as the word censor is not included in the Cinematograph Act of 1952. Now, in terms of the High Court decision, they did not find anything in the film that shows Punjab in a bad light and affect the sovereignty or integrity of the India as claimed by CBFC. So the main argument by the CBFC that the Urta Punjab movie is showing Punjab in a bad light was negated by the High Court itself. Now, creative freedom should not be unnecessarily curbed. Nobody can dictate a filmmaker about the content of his film. So if the filmmaker is trying to make a realistic sort of a movie, he should be complimented, he should be encouraged rather than being given 89 cuts for such a movie. Now CBFC's power to cut, delete or change scenes must be consistently in consonance with the provisions of the Constitution and Supreme Court of India. So in a way, the High Court has clearly stated that the censor board could certify, it should not censor, and this is a first. This is an anomaly in terms of the censor boards, in terms of the High Court decision, which would be treated as a reference in the coming other cases regarding the censoring of films. Now Prahlad Nithali, the chairman of CBFC, was again irritated, irked by the decision, but he is supporting the High Court decision. But it led to a different sort of fight between the parties. For example, Sukhbir Singh Badal, the Punjab Deputy Chief Minister, he was adamant that the movie should be banned or should be released with several cuts. But he's also accepted the High Court decision. So we hope that this Friday this movie release and the suspense regarding the entire screenplay or the entire story would unravel on Friday this week. With this, we come to an end to our discussion on the talking point of this particular week. It consisted of the NSG, it consisted of WPI, CPI, and also the Urta Punjab fiasco. We hope that you like the video. Kindly comment us all the critical analysis and also the compliments in our comment section. Keep on watching our channel in terms of different subjects analysis, with this intention that you are satisfied with all the content provided on our Mahendra Guru YouTube channel, also our website. Your success is our success. Thank you so much.